So you try to get first when you try to get when you start verifying, first when you try to check, you will get the pineapple. So that is not what you are looking for. So you again look into the bucket, then you look for a bucket or box, whatever you want. Then you try to look for you try to get another fruit, and you got banana. That is also not you are looking for. Then the next item is apple. So this is what you are looking for. So there is no point in looking into the bucket again, right? So you want to break it there. You want to come out and start enjoying the fruit. So that is what you do. So you keep on verifying here as and when certain condition is matched. Okay, as and when certain condition is matched, then you will say break. What will happen is this loop ideally should repeat up to 10 times, but as certain conditions match at the third item, you can break. So after 3 loops, it will come out and it will continue the progress. You see what I'm saying? So that is where break will have a role to play. Okay, quite opposite is continue. Continue is something to convey, okay, if you find this item, continue. If you don't find this item, don't continue, kind of thing. Okay, we'll see one or two example. You can more understand these things. Okay, so control statement we finished. That's a good thing. So what else we have? Let me see quickly. Yeah, good. So let's write a couple of programs. Okay, let's try to write simple program two different ways. Okay, first one is class, new class. Okay, I will give 4 different numbers. We want to find out the minimum number among those 4 numbers. Okay, we want to find out a minimum number among those 4 numbers. Okay, what is the way to do? So first and foremost thing we need to do is create a program. So what is the program? Let's say, give me a second. So I'll name it as minimum number. So in parallel, I'll tell you some basic rules. Any class, whenever you write a class, the class name should always start with capital letter. Okay, always start with capital letter. And in the class name, you can give more than one word. For the class name, you can give more than one word. In this case, min and number is 2 different words, so you can give more than one number, no harm. And each word should separated with capital letters, like this is the way. M and N are, so that's the standard. Even if I keep like this, it will work, but it's always good to follow some readable format. Okay, so I'll take the main method. This is the main method that Java looks for. I will go deeper into that later, but for now this is the method that Java looks for, and always you need to have in order to run any core Java programs for now. Okay, so what will happen? A new class has been created. Awesome. Okay, so now I have int a equal to 10, b equal to 20 or 40, c equal to 30, d equal to 25. It's 50. Okay, so I want to find out minimum number among these. So by looking at it, we can say 25 is the minimum number. Okay, how do you execute through program? How do you execute through program? Okay, let's see. So we know, so what, in order to write what you get into your mind, you need to start comparing between the variables. Between these variables you need to compare. So if by start comparing, you get to know which one is the minimum number, right? So how do you compare? One way is you want to check if A is less than B, if A is less than C, if A is less than D, then it is A is the minimum number. If that is not the case, you need to check B is less than A, B is less than C, B is less than D, right? That is the condition you use. If that becomes true, then B is the minimum number. So that is what we're going to write now. So if A is less than B and not or, it's a and, right? Logical and, because it should satisfy all the conditions, and A is less than D, then only we can say A is the minimum number, right? So I'll just copy this guy to save some time. Okay, else if B is less than C, B is less than A, B is less than C, B is less than D, B is less than C, B is less than D, then B is the minimum number. Same thing we need to repeat for verifying C with other numbers, right? C is less than B. You following? I believe you following. There is no rocket science, right? So at the beginning programs I am doing little slow. Later I don't do all this. You don't need to check the condition here. By default, D will be the minimum number. If A is not minimum number, B is not minimum number, C is not minimum number. So what else left? D is the minimum number. So else condition, you don't need to check again, right? So this is how you verify a particular number is minimum or not. So let me run the program. This is the run. Okay. D is the minimum number. So let me say this one is 55 and save it. Control S, save it. C is the minimum number. Okay. So because D is 55, 30 is the minimum number. So if keep on changing and saving and running, what happens now? You wrote certain logic by passing some inputs. Your logic, your program can able to determine what is the minimum number, right? That is awesome. So now you already initialize these numbers. So each time if you want to verify, you need to change this number and then save it and run it, right? Rather than that, you want to provide the user to enter any numbers, enter all the 4 numbers, then you can determine which is the minimum number among the numbers that has been sent by the user. In our case, user is our console, okay? So in console, if you enter 4 different numbers, then your program should tell what is the minimum number among those 4 numbers. So how do you pass the inputs from the keyboard to your program? From the keyboard to your program, how do you pass it, right? So Java provides certain libraries, okay? So Java provides certain libraries. How do you design? So for now, just accept it. This is this is how one of the way you can accept console from the console. Don't worry about this line too much, because as and when there will be some overlaps in the beginning, as and when we progress, you better understand these things, okay? So what you need to do is, you need to say there is a class called scanner, built-in class. Java already built in one of the libraries. So these are the libraries, right? These are the different libraries. One of the libraries, there is a class called scanner. Okay, scanner, scan equal to new scanner. This is how you create an object. Okay, an object from the class. Okay, system.in. So now it is giving error because your program doesn't understand what is scanner. So there is a concept called import. I'll explain later, but for now it's you need to import that package from java.util package. So when you import it, you will see import java.util.scanner. This is the package, this is the class. Okay, let me show you where it is. How do you see that number? So when you click on this class, right, when you click on control and go highlight it and then enter it, this will say it, I didn't find you. If you want to see the source code, all you need to do is attach source, browse, sorry, external location, external file, then go to your program files, Java, sr source.zip file. Okay, this is the file you need to upload it. When you upload it, you will see real class. I'll show you. See, this is the built-in class that has been there in java.util package. Okay, so come on, let's go. So when you click on this scanner class, it has certain logic. Already Java SDK has been built it and then giving it to you the flexibility. This is the common functionality that everybody is going to use. If there is something, a common functionality that everybody is going to use, then Java build it and keep it inside the Java built-in classes so that you can make use of them. Okay, one of the class is scanner. So scanner class can be utilized to take the inputs from the keyboard. Okay, or different systems, like from you, if you want to read some data from your Excel, you can do it. If you want to read data from your document, you can read it. So one way to provide the input is to keyword. Okay, so that's the reason we are saying system.in. My input is through system.in and I am saying I'm going to enter the inputs through system.in. So that's how you create the scanner object. Okay, once you create the scanner object, what you need to do is instead of initializing like this by default, you need to do int a equal to scan dot. These are the built-in methods that has been there already. Okay, next int. So if you type like this as and when, then your console will wait. This below part, the console will wait to get the inputs from the keyboard. As and when you enter the keyboard and press the enter button, then that input whatever you entered will be assigned to this variable. Okay, so another one, right, we need to take up to 4 inputs from the user, right? So scan dot next int. Okay, so you now, instead of initializing in the program itself, now you are asking any user to enter from the keyboard so that you can get the inputs. So now you are taking integers, so you are taking next int. So how do you see the program is like scan dot next int. So if you want to take short, next byte, next big decimal, next double, next boolean, next float, anything you can ask. Whatever the input that you want, you can ask. As you are getting scan dot next int gives you int, you need to assign it to int variable. Okay, so now run the program. We'll see what will happen. So nothing is happening here. So let me try to enter something. 12, enter. 23, enter. 6, enter. 32, enter. So C is the minimum number. C is the minimum number, right? So you can enhance this program more smartly like this. Okay, let me type you like this. Okay, system.out.println. Please enter the number. Please enter the numbers, and then you can do is here, please enter 4 numbers, and then you can show that I can find you minimum number among those, something like that. Okay, so next what we can do here, system dot enter A. So once you capture the A, then you can ask enter B. Once you capture the B, ask them enter C. Enter D. So now let's run the program again. Now it simply is enter the 4 numbers so that I can find you the minimum number among those. Enter A. So I'm saying 33. Enter B. 43. Enter C. 65. Enter D. 76. What happened? D is the minimum number? No. Why is D displaying as a minimum number? Let me try again. There is one loop, I know, but I just want 43, 65, 87, 100. A is the minimum number. A is the minimum number. Right? So there is a small problem with this coding. There is a small problem in this code. What is that? What if both numbers are same? What if both numbers are same? If you enter A as 43, B as 43, then your logic is failing. See, let me show you. Enter A, 34, enter B, 34. So even though 34 is the minimum number, it was not able to identify. Why? Because here, even though A is less than C, A is less than D, but A is equal to B. So what you can do is A is less than or equal to B, or less than or equal to C, A is less than or equal to D, A is the minimum number. So let's do this check. You can improvise as much as you can with your logics, right? If somebody challenges you with the different use cases, you need to address them by correcting your program, right? So 32, 32, 54, 65. So now A is the minimum number. But in your program, not only A is the minimum number, B also minimum number, right? B also minimum number. How can you address that? So those kind of, you can enhance this program by thinking of logics. All we are doing is changing the conditions here and there and finding out the right and best solution. So whatever the user enters, so what if customer enters all the 4 numbers same, right? How do we determine that? So you need to enhance this piece of code such a way, whatever the inputs that user enters, you need to provide the right thing. If he enters all the 4 numbers is the same number, then you need to say all are equal numbers, right? You see what I'm saying? Okay. This is one program. Yeah, you can do that. You can, by playing with the scanner, by playing with the scanner class, you can do that. I will show you in the next program. I don't have handy now. I may think of it. Definitely you can do that. Or else you can what you can do is like comma separated. So you can read complete all the numbers, ask the customer with a comma separated, and once it reaches, read it as a string into your system and then split that string by comma separated and then convert that string into int as well. So there are different ways you can do. Okay, so that is one. So now we find out one program. Yeah, I will do that. Next one is which one we can try. So there are different programs we can try. So I'll give you a lot of them assignments and I will give you solutions once you finish the assignments. So let's try to do prime number. Okay, in prime number, logic, or else just keep it like this, prime number. So what is a prime number? So basically what we're trying to do is I'm going to write another program, or else I'll give you an assignment. Yeah, I'll write another program, simple program, so that we can jump into other topics. Using for loop, something like we can try with something for loop. Okay, what if I want to find odd numbers? What if I want to find odd numbers between 1 to 100? I want to display all the odd numbers between 1 to 100. What is the way? One is odd number, class name, right? Odd number. So first thing, how do we determine a number is odd number or not? You need to get into mind, right? So how do you determine a number is odd or not? Like by divide by 2. If it is returns 0, then it is not a odd number. If it is not written 0, if it is written by, like, let's say if you try to divide 7 by 2, right? So then the what you call remainder, or if the remainder is not 0, then it becomes an odd number, right? So with the same concept in your mind, so let's write a program, right? And I want to display all the odd numbers from 1 to 100. So for that, what we can do, if we can say, like, if you can't take all the numbers like this, right? Like, int a equal to 1, b equal to 2, c equal to 3, and until 100, right? It's challenging. So that's where we can try with for loops. So how can we try for loop is for initialize int I assigned to 0, I is less than or equal to 100, I plus plus. I'll tell you. And then here, as we don't want to deal with 0, as we want to start with, if you can put a condition, but for the simplicity I'm just putting 1 for 1 to 100. So if the I is divisible by 2 and the result is not equal to 0, then it is an odd number. SYSOUT. I just for the readable purpose. Okay, I'm just keeping this like this. Okay, so I'm displaying all the numbers. So what we try to do here is, so this loop will continue up to 100, up to I becomes 100, and each time it loops repeats it, I will be increased from 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and each time it checks this condition. If it is not equal to 0, then it is an odd number. And how do you determine a even number? Just removing. If it is divisible by 2, then it is a even number. If it is equal to, if it becomes equal to of 0, the result is becomes equals of 0, then it is a even number. So but the program is odd number, so I'm just saying negating. Okay, let's run the program. See, all the numbers is 1, 3, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. All these are up to 99. All these numbers are odd numbers. So if I want to display even numbers, then you can do, so all the even numbers displayed up to 100. So now you restricted a condition, right? You restricted an 100. Even if you want, if customer want to print up to 1000, but you restricted your code to up to 100. So how do you make it flexible and allow the customer to enter the max number? Then you can do scan equal to new scanner of system.in, and you'll get an error. So control 1, import it, then you take the value SOSOUT, enter the up to count, enter the up to count. Okay, then scan dot int count equal to scan dot next int. And then, so now you got count, so that count you can keep it here. So if somebody enters 1000, it becomes 1000 here. Up to 1000 it will repeat. If somebody enters 5, it will become 5. Let's see. Enter up to count. I want to display 45. Then you will get up to 45, all the even numbers, but we want to display, sorry, it's a small, you can understand. Enter up to count 45. So you can see the all the odd numbers up to 45. Okay, if you remove less than or equal to, then it will go up to 44. So it will display up to 43 instead of 44. Up to 43. You see what I'm saying? Okay, now you at least kind of understand how to write a class and how to write a main method and how to take the inputs and play around with the different methods and how to repeat the logics. You can try do while as well. I am going to send today almost 15 programs. So my request is, don't copy from internet. So if you start immediately looking at the internet, what you call direct logic, Java logic, then you're never going to learn. My request is, okay, like I mentioned, can you display all the prime numbers? When I say, if I give an assignment, can you display all the prime numbers? Yes, there is nothing wrong. You don't know the what is prime number, then you go ahead and look for prime number. What is the prime number? Okay, understand the definition of the prime number and understand this pseudocode, what is trying to say. Look at this, like how they are displaying. Then at least 2 to 3 hours, even if you don't find solution, that is fine. Keep on trying with these control statements. Keep on trying with these control statements with your code. Make a mess now. Okay, no harm done, right? So if you focus on these piece now, going forward, I'm not going to do all these logics, right? I can simply go ahead and write the if condition. I'm going to write for loop condition. Why I'm using for loop, why I'm using if conditions, that is something, a sense that you need to keep getting. Okay, so I will give you 8 programs, like a regular programs, and the remaining 7 or 8 programs, very tough programs. If you can able to finish all these 10, I can guarantee you that you can clear Amazon interview as well. Amazon, what you called basic interviews, first level interviews. Okay, they all ask about all the data structures. So these 15 to 20 programs you need to practice a lot. Not even practicing, you need to bring your mind such a way as and when you see a problem, you need to think what is the best logic that I can implement in, what is the best way that I can implement in Java. Okay, that's good. So we good here. So next concept is like, let's go back to, I directly wrote a program here, and you don't know how to, what is the compilation, when it's the compilation. We talked about the first Java program will get compiled and then it converts, you need to explicitly run the program, right? But we haven't done here, right? We directly started programming and saved the program and run the program, because the compilation has been taken care by your Eclipse by default. Because Eclipse know which is the Java you are using, Eclipse know what is the class you are trying to write. That is the reason even if you try to write something wrong, it easily identifies here. Say scanner scan not found. So it couldn't identify what you are trying to write there, right? So that is because tool has come up with some logics. But if you want to see what exactly happens, let's write a simple program on Notepad. Okay, let me write like a public class, simple one. Okay, hello world, and braces starts, braces closes, and the first and foremost method that's supposed to be here is public static void main string args. Okay. Yeah, we can simply write system dot out dot println. Welcome to Java world. So I'm trying to save it, so I'll go to C, my workspace, basics. Let me save it here for some time and see if it works for me. And I'll say hello dot Java. Okay, so if I go to workspace here, B6, hello.java file is here, right? So the extension also Java file. Okay, nice. So now I'll copy this location. I'll go to command prompt. Here, first thing what I need to check is what is the status of my program, right? Java C. First you need to check is Java hyphen version. So my version is 1.8.0. Okay, nice. 1.8.0 is actively using in my system. Okay, so next is Java C. So Java C is working. So it displayed all the help commands. Nice. So next one is Java. It is also working. So what does it mean is, if you want to compile, so now it is in hello.java, which is in your human readable format, right? So it need to convert into, we remember, if you first, it will convert into bytecode, right? The bytecode is understandable by JVM. So how do you convert your Java class into bytecode? When you convert into bytecode, what kind of format it will generate? It generate into dot class format. How do you convert? Java C, so compiler, Java compiler, and you need to provide an input for this command, Java C command. You need to provide an input. What is that input? Hello.java. This is the input. So by taking this input, this command Java C, try to compile it. Okay, let me try. It will fail because it doesn't find hello.java, because you are in different directory. So if you want to go to your directory that you are looking for, cd, whatever it is, then again Java C hello.java. One error. Class hello world is public, should be declared in a file name called hello world.java. So what's the mistake we did? You don't realize when you try to do all these things in what you call no, Eclipse directly. So what it is saying is, you saved the file name as hello, and you say you are calling the class name as hello world. So in Java, the basic first and foremost thing is the class name, and that you save, the class name that you give, the public class name that you mention should be same all the time. So what I will do is, in this case is, I'll remove this whole world and then save. Okay, let's go back again. Hello.java. See, it's compiled, so which means it generated hello.class. This class has been generated after this command. Automatically this class has been generated. If you try to open that, so this is in bytecode, which is understandable by JVM Java compiler. I mean Java, which is understandable by JVM. This is generated by Java compiler. This is in bytecode format. You getting my point? So now you need to run this hello.class file by passing it to executor. Java executing file, right? Java, this is the executor. You need to execute hello. You need to run. You can execute or run. Generally people use it run. Okay, hello. So by saying that Java hello, by saying that this is the byte, hello is the byte, byte format. Hello is the converted into byte format. This is the input I am feeding to run the Java program. So what I will do, Java dot hello. So now it is displayed welcome to Java world. So now if I go back and here blah blah blah, Then if you look at here, it doesn't reflected. Even after saving, it doesn't reflected here. Why? Because you need to compile it again each time when you modify it, because you're trying to run this file and you've modified this file need to be regenerated. This .class file need to be regenerated from Java file, whatever the modifications that you have done, right? So what you need to do, first compile it, javac hello.java, and then run. Now you will get welcome to Java world blah blah. Make sense? Okay. So, and few more points is, always your class should be public. Always your class should be public class. This is the variable name. Odd number is the class name of variable. Okay. And then inside braces you can write anything in Java will be written inside class. You are not going to write anything outside the class. Remember that point. Any logic you are going to write inside the class. Okay. And all the methods always starts with small letter. Methods always starts with small letter. Classes always starts with capital letters. Okay. And if there is more than one word, let's say let's write another method called, you can write as many methods as you want in a class. Okay. So let's say another method called public void test. Okay. Public void test. Test now. Okay, I want to write a method called test now. You can write like this, it works fine, but it's, if you to make it readable, you need to follow a test now, camel case. Okay, if you write like this, it is readable. So always method starts with small letter. A variable name also, it's always good to start with small letters. Okay, and what else we have? So you can write as many methods as you want in a class. And if you want to call one method inside another class, same class, then you can simply need to do test now. It will give an error. There is a concept called static. You cannot call non-static inside static, so you can make for time being, just make it static. The error will go out. So then you can write something here. Testing now. Now what happens is the program starts executing here, and then it will take the input. You will ask to enter the input, it will take the input and it will loop it everything. After that it will call this method. It will enter here and it will do the execution. After completing the execution, it will come back here, and if there is anything further, let me show you. Okay, enter the count. So it will keep displaying. So very big number I entered accidentally. It's okay. So end of the program. So you can't see, right? Let me enter the small number. So after displaying all this, it would enter into testing now and then end of the program. So it doesn't mean that it will go continuously and then it will come to this method. Okay, as you are introducing this method here, it will go to that method, it perform whatever the operation it's supposed to do, and then it will come back. Okay, so this is the end of the program. So what if you try to call another method here, like test later? You're trying to call test later and you write that method here. Okay, public static void test later. Sorry. testing later, something like that. Okay, now if I enter 10, so testing now, after finishing testing now, it got called test later, it goes to the test later, and then it goes back all the way. Once it finishes this line, it comes back here. If there is nothing is there, it goes back here. If there is nothing is there, it will execute this statement. Okay, there is no order is not required. I can keep this one here on top. Even though, so first it will start, always starts with main program, and whatever the method that you wrote, and from there it will jump to some other method, and it goes here and then comes back here. Okay, you seeing my point? So even if you do this thing, same output you will see. So testing now, testing later, end of the program. Okay, so these are the basic language definitions, and each and every statement. I kind of always believe that as and when you practice, you learn, rather than each and every point mentioning, but it's okay. So semicolon, each and every statement. This one is, you can call it as a statement. So this is the statement, this is a statement, this is a statement. Okay, so each and every statement should end with semicolon. Okay, in Java, each and every statement should end with semicolon, and each and every method should end with curly braces. Okay, and each and every class should end with curly braces, and a method can take inputs. So these are the inputs. If you enter something here, test let's say if you pass 10, then if it doesn't understand here, then you need to say int a. Okay, so you are passing 10 as it is. So this is the method you first define, right? Just now is the method which will take input of type variable a, of type int. Test now will take a variable a of type int. So if you want to call this method, you need to pass int. If you don't pass anything, it will say I don't find any method here. I don't find any method, because you have a method which will take an input of type A. Here you are not passing anything, so then you can't trigger this method, you can't execute, you can't reach this method. So if you want to reach this method, you need to pass whatever the input that is looking for, because based on that input it may be operating something, it may be doing something like displaying that number, right? Something it is doing. So you need to respect. If you want to call someone, you need to call with the same way, like in the same way that they are expecting. So if say my name is Shiva, right? So if somebody calls Santosh, I'm not going to call, right? I'm not going to respond. Only if somebody calls me Shiva, then only I look back. So this is the input, and so this, all the input should be next to the method name, and you can pass as many inputs as you want. So if you say float floats b, then you need to say here, you need to pass 20.20. What is the problem? Yeah, so if you want to represent a float, this is the way represent, right? I forgot. So if you want to pass double as well, right? So 20.20, then you need to accept double. Any variable name, anything you can give. You don't need to follow the same variable names. Okay, that's it. Nice. So I'm going to send programs. Damn, I should have showed you how to use GitHub.